So referee Eric Linnemeyer gets us away. Eric Linnemeyer of Austria, very famous World Cup referee. Portuguese in those red jerseys. England, the white jerseys straight down the sleeves. For England, the important game that they've got to win by a lot of goals. For Portugal, not much interest in the European Championship, but a chance. Beat England for only the second time in the history of games between the two clubs. Rodrigues knocking it here for Rebello. Rodrigues brought it to the side because Umberto is out. Ball out of play, throw in to England. Tall Trevor Brooking standing there waiting to take it. Trevor Brooking, last game, in fact, for England was against Portugal just a year ago. That 0-0 draw at Wembley. Shining back for Brooking. Moynosh. Tremendously talented players. Little Alves, he and Octavio sharing the midfield chores. Looks like a first touch for Ray Clements, getting a feel of the match ball. Cool night here in Lisbon. Reach miles away from that. That's Freitas flying in. Alves beaten. Nene. Whitworth cutting it out. Beattie long. Aiming for McDonald. Gets a good touch. Shannon. Keegan offside. Just fractionally. Keegan will obviously get a word from referee Linnemeyer for impertinence more than anything else. And Tony breaks out for Portugal. Rode the tackle, waiting for some support to come the right side, and it's Rebello. Batista in the box with Nene. The far side is Moynosh. It's aimed for Moynosh. Comes down for Nene. First scare then for the England goal coming from the number 9, Nene. Freitas, the cutout ball. Keegan for Watson. McDonald, the touch on for Keegan. Half an angle there, nobody on the far post. Nice quick break though. And it was Keegan scampering in behind the Portuguese. Hard struck ball. Watson knocks it back again. The offside player coming back rather slowly. Shannon. Free kick's got to be taken a long way back. A rather pedantic piece of refereeing. Tony. Moynosh knocking it on. Steve Whitworth. Good ball. It's Francis. Ran it too far. Freitas gets it away. Whitworth. Keegan bundled out of it by Artur. Oh, that was a rather foolish bit of football by England. Shannon caught offside, that quickly taken free kick by Keegan. Alves, Rodrigues. Aiming for Batista. Octavio, Batista. Portuguese not finding their men accurately, and England caught 2 men offside. Keegan and McDonald some 10 yards inside the Portuguese half. Soups McDonald looking for goals from him for England. Breaks in Portugal's favour. Nene now. Kept good possession. One too many. Madeley brought him down from behind. The free kicks to Portugal. let's see what Jose Mario Pedrotta, the Portuguese technical director, has worked out for this free kick. Tony, tallest man in the Portuguese side, the skipper, calling the signals, looking very much as though he's going to take a whack. Oh, it's Rodriguez. Oh, and he's got it in there! Well, double moment. What a moment then for Rodriguez to come back. Look at this one, Ben. High lofted, twisted into the top left-hand corner. And the big tragedy coming for England here, 15 minutes into the game. For a moment it looked as though it was beating the far post. But that was fantastically curled in. So it's 1-0 Portugal. And Rodriguez has done it. Now there's so much pressure on England. They needed at least 2 or 3 goals from this game to put the pressure on Czechoslovakia against Cyprus. And that 1 goal changes the pre-planning, I would suspect, from an anticipated 3 goals, they've got to get 4 now. Alves. France is on. Shannon taken out by Artur. Freitas covering with Rodriguez. Moinos. Taken by Beattie. Running into trouble there. Touch on, Freitas cut it out. Moinos then for Portugal. Francis scurrying back for England. Keegan now. Brooking, flicking it on again for Keegan. Covering him all the time was Nene, coming back from a long way forward. Portugal then 1-0 up. They haven't scored too many goals in their last 2.5 years of internationals. In fact, have only won twice. That against France and Cyprus in 13 matches. Keegan flicking it on. Francis. So Tony, the new captain of Portugal, with the ball now. Freitas. Alves. Tony. That's Watson. Ball into the corner with no drive, no sting on it. Damash really hasn't had a shot to save yet. Beattie. So much pressure on England now. And once since the countries met back in '47, have Portugal beaten England. That was 3-1 in 1955 at Porto. That's Batista. Oh, and Whitworth slipped. Tony. Oh, and he was so close to getting number 2. Tony, the slip, bringing that error, bringing the opening for Portugal to score a second goal. Danger signs were flashing for England then. Clements, a very fortunate fellow that ball was not on target. And it's very much as though the army. Here is the shot now. Just rolled past the far post from Tony, and Clements was well beaten. Reaching for Moinos. Beattie was in first. Portugal sticking to 3 front runners. Batista now. Moinos on the right wing. And Nene down the middle. Watson stopped that one. Now it's Brooking. For McDonald. Keegan scurrying away over to his right. And a solid trip then from Rodriguez. prevented that attack building up. Brooking, hands on hips, pensively figuring what he might do with his free kick, although skipper Francis is in now. Beattie as Brooking moves away down the left wing. Brooking. Beattie goes again. Now they're in behind, Portugal. Kevin Beattie rather wasted that moment. For once, England did construct something that got them into an attacking situation down the left side. But Beattie wasting the ball gave Damish nothing to do. Good jump by Todd. Brooking lofting it on. There was a foot in the air, which gives England another free kick. Colin Todd. Madeley, the glyph, gliding it on. Rodriguez there to cover. Rebello, Alves, early out for Nain. Oh, and Nain is away. Could be in with a chance of number 2. Oh, and Nene did more or less with that open goal chance as he did with the penalty here against Czechoslovakia. Knocked it wide and to the right. A stumble there letting Nene in. That chip just wide and to the right of the goal. A let-off for England. Whitworth, challenge coming from Tony. Slipped a good ball from McDonald. Whitworth going again right into the corner. That's not a bad cross. Keegan across. And Damish dropped it on the near post, but this time he grabbed it. Moynosh badly caught in possession by Beattie and fouled by Beattie. Rodriguez, free kick. 5 minutes to half-time. Nene knocking it back. Todd intercepting. Shannon through the middle, but Freitash was there. Batista. Rebello. Tony lurking on the far side, unmarked. Whitworth comes to him. It's Watson. Whitworth. Alves making contact. That's enough for the Austrian referee. Promptly gives the free kick. Beattie. Madeley. Oh, that's surely got to be a foul. Shannon brought down a couple of yards or a yard and a half outside the box. Well, a situation that Don Revie now will be looking for England to exploit. Free kick it was that cost England so dearly in the 15th minute. Perfectly bent, floated. Free kick from Rodriguez. Now let's see, Francis is over the ball now. Shannon behind him. Shannon complaining that the wall is not back 10 yards. 9, McDonald. Francis 10, Shannon 8. Madeley's in the wall, Keegan's to the right of it. And it's Shannon. Took a deflection, it's in! 1-1. So the free kick did in fact work out. Perhaps not quite the way that England planned, but it doesn't matter. Here it goes now. Shannon takes the whack. It takes a deflection in the wall. Far side. And it's 1-1. So, with about 3 minutes to go to half-time, Shannon increases his lead in the goal stakes in this present England side. That's the 11th international goal Mick Shannon scored for the senior side. There's the time. Just a couple of minutes to half-time, and a very, very good time, a vital time for England to have equalised. And the crowd, very, very quiet now. Octavio knocking it through. Nene back. for Alves. No time for England to relax. Isolated whistles in this Alvalade Stadium here in Lisbon now. Rooking gliding it on. McDonald for England. Trying a long-range one. Didn't come off. Now it's Madeley. Rod by little Octavio. Tony now. Offside flag, which Nenny doesn't think too much of. He's a fair right to have an argument about that one. If anybody is ever entitled to have an argument with the match officials. Francis. Beattie. Brooking out on this left touchline. But he doesn't happen to be 22 feet tall. On the other hand, Kevin Beattie's still limping from the effects of the tackle, the crash tackle earlier. Rebello. Well read by Watson. But not a particularly good pass. Alves. Coming away from Keegan. Artur. Hard pass for a goalkeeper who's rated a little bit dodgy. Whitworth. Good covering then by Artur. In injury time, in the first half, according to my watch. Brooking. Cries coming up to hold it. Beattie taking over. Roughed out by Moynosh. Brooking taking on. And almost a second goal for Shannon. Well, that would have done it. But the pressure's still there. McDonald waiting for Shannon to come from an offside position. Brooking. Shannon goes. Against Rodriguez. Rebello there. Rodriguez. Now Octavio. Alves. Well, one back by Brooking. That equalising goal has put a lot of fresh heart into the England side. But Alves cuts it out for Portugal now. Nene, Batista. Moynosh. Right through Beattie's legs. And Beattie finally got the saving tackle in. Well into injury time, and in fact it looks very much as referee Linnemeyer has decided that that is the end of a remarkable first half of football here with that scoreline. Both the goals coming from free kicks, from set pieces. The Portuguese won an absolute beauty. A little bit of luck favouring England for theirs, but obviously a great deal of football still to come here from Lisbon. We'll take the break now. We'll be back with more football in just a few moments. Welcome back then, as referee Linnemeyer gets this second half underway here in Lisbon. 1-1 the score. 1-1 the score, and immediately England cutting out the action for an attack here from McDonald. Off Freitash. Damash has lost it. The tidy up was from little Alves, who now comes forward again. And Artur has now switched to right back in place of Rebello, who hasn't come out for the second half. And the substitute Ty is on, wearing number 14 from the Boa Vista club, the club of Portugal's manager, Jose Maria Pedroto. Francis for England. Running into trouble. Offside flag had caught Keegan, although Artur had cut out the penetration of that attack. Moynosh. Brought in possession by Beattie. Beattie following the number 11 to this side of the field. And is wearing 11 but basically playing right side. Tackle in the back on McDonald. Keeps position and gives a terrible ball away to Moynosh. There's the substitute tie on for Rebello. Skipper Tony with the throw-in. Madeley whacks it away. Can't say it to the crowd because this massive stadium includes a cycling track and then a running track. You've got to kick the ball a long way to get it into the terraces. Tie. England ball. Whitworth. For Keegan. Ty got there first. That's Alves. Batista, cut out by Todd. That'll be Tony's ball. That's Alves! Superb save! Wonderful reactions then by Ray Clements on a cracking drive from Alves, the little number 7. Ty, more of a central defender, the substitute. Madeley, Todd. No way. Freitash obviously was covering then. The offside was given. And they want some treatment for Rodriguez. Indeed, as he goes out, the figure of number 13 moves out onto the field, Carolino. England not putting it together here in Lisbon tonight. The game they had to score goals to set Czechoslovakia a problem on Sunday in Cyprus. France is caught in possession. And it's Moynosh. Chance on for him here. Half-committed Clements. And then the ball ran away from him, but it was good goalkeeping by Ray Clements. Now it's Brooking for England. Looking to the right side for somebody, and the player there is Whitworth, but he's very deep. McDonald calling for the ball through the middle. Brooking back for Whitworth. Inside is Todd. Far side is Keegan, and he's given offside. England being caught by a rather square-playing Portuguese defence. Todd the interception, only down as far as Tony. Ty joining in left side. Good ball, Tony. Moynosh. Batista under this with Todd. Batista again. Nene challenging. Cools down for Francis to play it out. Shannon. Madeley leading it. Beattie. Keegan. Long delay. Now for Beattie. Chest by Artur. McDonald. Todd. Can go again. Francis. Brooking started to run down the right. That's a good cross ball. Flying in and Shannon. Alves finally got it away. Appeal for a corner. The crowd show their disapproval. The free kick, in fact, given in Damash's favour. Batista. Tony. Alves. Batista. Trying for Alves again, now Batista. Alves, Batista, offside. Offside. Little Alves hits it high in the air. Batista angrily arguing, but no way that he could possibly qualify that one. Clearly offside. So Jerry Francis to start it all again for England. Artur getting there first. England onside this time, but Damash a mile off his line. Tai. Batista. Nene going with BT. Foot up by Nene. In some respects, I suppose Clements might feel at home with these red jerseys. He usually plays behind them and not has them attacking him. Brooking. Offside again, Shannon. Alves for Portugal. Tony. Showed rather a lot of that to Madeley. Whitworth, Francis, now Todd. Too high for McDonald, Freitash. Alves coming away from Francis. Just a little more than half an hour left for England. Steve Whitworth. Todd. England unable to slip their markers, although Brooking is away now. Keegan in the middle. Freitash sticks a boot out. Shannon challenging to win it back for England. Brought down by Alves. The free kick to England. Looking desperately now to find out if England can construct a Rodriguez-type goal. Again from some 8 yards outside the penalty area, the Portuguese penalty area. Portugal now drag everybody in their side, goal side of the ball. Brooking with the kick. Portugal in a dead line, trying to play him offside. McDonald got in there. Did tremendously well, his legs pumping speed. Couldn't turn it back far enough. Otavio, 26 years old, playing tonight his 12th game for Portugal. It's Alves again. Tai starting to run left side, ball doesn't reach him, comes to Whitworth. Madeley. Whitworth. Robbed by Moynihan. Has to play it back. Todd. Madeley. Brooking on. Keegan taking on Artur. On for the shot for himself. Too much. Francis. Well, that tremendous bit of work by little Kevin Keegan deserved a better punishing shot. Here it is again. He really did take everybody on. Slips one, slips two, slips another one. That chance really should have been driven in by Francis. Whitworth, an easy one for Keegan. Being pushed backwards and tackled by Batista. Todd, Whitworth. Hurled down by Moynihan. Keegan quickly taking the free kick. Now it's Madeley. Square for BT. Francis. Chased by Nene. Got a whack from Nene after the ball was gone. Well, that's a bad ball. Artur easily stopping the attack drive. And the referee has a line play to go on. I thought he'd given the throw in the other way. It's Moynihan now. Vote of indecision for Nene. And Nene misses another sitter, and the crowd are right on his back again. Nene, the man who missed the penalty here that failed to give Portugal the chance of beating Czechoslovakia. Look at this now, roll to him, to Nene. A soft dolly ball for Clements. And Keegan, but nobody to support him on that pass back. Madeley roughing Batista out of it. And the substitution is to be made. Taking off Madeley and MacDonald. So now England really have got two new strikers going on fresh, taking off one in MacDonald and the midfielder, Madeley. 14, Thomas. 12, Clark. With a fat quarter of an hour to go, 1-1 the score. Batista gliding it in. France is half away. Keegan getting a good touch. Brooking. Todd now. Francis. Thomas. Grim-faced Don Revie. Everything against him at this moment. He's gambled. See what England can pull back for him in this last quarter of an hour. Thomas. Breaks for Brooking. Todd. Offside, Shannon. The imperfections of the England forwards, they have been monotonously trapped in the thin red line that moves up and catches them offside so many times. Clark getting his first touch. Beattie. Now Clark, away from Aldej. Oh, and gives the ball away badly to Moynosh. Nene going through, Todd to cover. Superb bit of work by Todd. Whitworth now. Shannon, Francis. Brooking. It's Keegan feeding it right for Francis. Ty hooks it out. Tony away. Todd there. The challenge coming from Nene. Free kick to England. Well, there you are. There's 15 minutes left for England, and nudge, nudge from referee Linneman in the background. Nudge, nudge. The scoreline 1-1. Thomas. Good chip ball, Francis, and knocked out by Carolina. Nene feeding it for Moynosh. Now he's against Beattie. Beattie just stuck the boot in, got it back to Clements. Beattie then. Keegan coming back deep for Thomas. For Whitworth. Thomas. First Tony. Back for Todd. And Portugal's come out. Thomas is stranded. Got to go through on his own. Foul given against Tony. Oh, surely. Well, I felt certain that had to be a free kick to England. In fact, it's given to Portugal. Tai will take it. Alves. Again, a Portugal ball. Moynosh. Batista. That's Nene couldn't quite get there, and Clements did. (1-1), no good to England. There's the attack as Clements took it right off the head of Nene. Nene leaving it to Batista, who feeds Octavio. Batista. It's a good-looking ball. Nene a little bit slow to spot what might have happened for him then. Whitworth. Thomas. Time to turn and run at Portugal. Shannon giving that a good chase. Always too long for him. Octavio. And Nene in. And Nene blew it. But the man who caused him to shoot wildly, Colin Todd, put the pressure on at just the right moment. There goes Nene, and look at Todd getting just in fractionally, although looking at it again there, it seemed that Nene had a better chance. Injury time. A lot of time added on, of course, for the agonizing injury to Rodriguez, carried away on a stretcher soon after the second half started. Whitworth for England. Freitash down. Tony, and Portugal own the centre of the field. They're really bossing that area now, mostly through this little man. Alves. The little number 7 really has played a tremendous part in this Portugal game tonight. Captain Tony for Portugal with the free kick. Delaying, letting time elapse. Looking for Batista to get in. Moynihan, Batista, the whistle's already gone. Francis for England. Thomas really gave Francis far too much to do with that pass. Offside, Clark. A little more than 15, 18, 20 yards perhaps into the Portugal half of the field. Alves again. Octavio, Alves. Well, the referee Lindemeyer has another long look at his watch. And as Whitworth starts England forward again, surely there can only be seconds left now. Freitash knocks it away. Tai now. Thomas in quickly. Taken out, and little Alves comes forward. Batista, and it's all over. Referee Lindemeyer says that's the end of this game here in the Alvalade Stadium in Lisbon. England have only drawn 1-1. They did not get the goals that they needed to put the pressure on Czechoslovakia. The first goal from Rodriguez, a free kick in the first half. The second one, a deflection from a free kick by Shannon to put that scoreline up at half-time. And there's been no change here as we end the game in Lisbon.